happening because I received some really good news, and it's an opportunity. I'll tell you more about it next week when they announce it, but it's like an affirmation that the work that I've been doing with this very small community on YouTube and also on my site, Jenna-Zaffino.com, this like very focused work on lifting us up from the inside and making movement more than just exercise. It's an affirmation that other people might want to know more about it. And it means moving outside of the comfort zone. And so my insides today are like, ah. And so we're gonna take it into a slow chill. You know there'll be a challenging part in the middle of it. You can bring your Swiss ball out. You can also use a chair. If you don't have a ball and you wanna use your rebounder, you can use your rebounder. We're just gonna do some seated exercises. I wanna encourage you to be creative if you're not using a ball. It's not important that you match exactly what I'm doing. It's more important that you make it feel good for yourself. Okay, there's no pass fail. We're not checking boxes. You're not passing a quiz. Let's have a seat and get grounded to begin. Yeah, so my heart's going a little pitter patter. You know, sometimes when you're like grinding hard for a long period of time and you're like, yeah, I'm so convicted about this. I want movement to be accessible. I want us to have these unique, enriching experiences. And then you're yelling and you're shouting and you're yelling and somebody says, I really like that idea. How can I support you with that? And you're like, wait a minute. I don't have to fight so much anymore? Okay. Ah! So anyhow, let's just get ourselves grounded. We're going to be here on the ball or on your chair. We're gonna stand with our feet wide apart. I'm checking in. We can hear you. We can hear you. Big love. So I'm gonna start with my palms down on the top of my thighs, just so I can drop in and feel a sense of grounded energy. So whenever we're looking at grounding our energy or dropping our energy down, we're trying to make a connection between the weight of our body and the surface that it's on top of, whether that's the floor or the ball or your chair. It's allowing gravity to be your partner, and instead of letting it overtake you, it's more along the lines of working with it. So just reaching into your feet, imagining you could grow roots out of the bottom of your feet, out of the palms of your hands, out of the seat of your pelvis, and just taking a couple of breaths here to arrive, to chill a little bit. Why do we get this way? Maybe it's just me. It's the introvert's curse, I think. Loving to work behind the scenes, but the minute you get seen, it's like, oh, oh. Let's lift our shoulders up as we take a deep breath in. And then drop them down into our back. We're gonna do this 4 times. So again, lift them up as high as you can. Just squeeze out that tension. Like you've got a sponge on either side of your neck and you're gonna just squeeze it out as you lift. And press it down. Yes. So often in these moments of tension or lots of energy, I start to think about support. Let's take our left hand to our right knee. Just take a little twist around to the back, and then we'll alternate. And so for me, it's always, what does support look like, feel like, sound like, maybe taste like in this moment? And maybe that means having a little bit of a story going on in your own mind about what's possible. Maybe it's releasing some of the expectations of what's possible. Just kind of being here in the moment and being curious about what can happen. Let's keep going with these rotations a couple more times. Good. And as you finish up your last one, we'll land in center. We're gonna reach our right arm all the way down, taking your right shoulder to your right hip. And instead of rolling, if you're on your ball, to the left, I want you to think of pushing down into your right sitting bone, your right hip, to really encourage that side bend. And then we'll come all the way up, and we'll go the other side. Shoulder blade down to the hip, reaching as far as you can, never worrying about if your reach is as far as someone else's, yeah? You just see what's there for you. It's your own personal Everest. Sometimes a side bend is that big, reaching it over. So as we're reaching, we're starting to feel our shoulder blades connect with our back. We're also hopefully starting to feel a little breath enter into the side that's stretching. So we can start to think about this idea of breathing into only one lung. And don't worry if you're not sure how to do it. You just kind of fake it until you feel it, and we'll get there. Let's go 2 more, reaching it over. And bringing it all the way back up. And 1 more over. Good. And all the way up. So take your hands onto your ball, your chair, whatever you're sitting on. We're gonna step the left foot forward and have your heel touching your toes, pulling back. From here, standing well into that right leg, holding onto the balance, we're just gonna hinge forward. It's a flat back hinge. Showing it from the side, nice and long, so you get that stretch all the way down the back of your leg. So we're here, we're gonna hinge forward, and then stand up, and then hinge to the other side. So we'll reach into the stretch, and then go to the other side. Reaching into the stretch. You can go as far forward as you like, but let's really make this a stretch where your chest stays open rather than rounding over. So nice open chest, open front of the body, strong back, good stretch. And even if you're just hinging a 1/4 inch, but you're feeling a good sensation, like way to go you. Let's go a couple more times, reaching. I like to think of breaking a pencil at the crease of my hips. I'm really working on that fold of the joint. Reaching forward. Good. Let's go 1 more each side, shall we? Stretching it up, pulling it all the way back. Embracing the wobble and the wiggle. It's all part of it. Good. As you come back up, stand with your feet wide, and we're just gonna take a little rounded back, so like you're reaching for your toes. We're gonna stretch forward, lift up, open your chest. So it's a little bit of a circle, reaching over, and then press into those feet, stand up as tall as you can through your spine, rounding forward, just getting a little mobility in our back. We're coming into kind of like a slow progression where we're getting all the body parts warmed up, and then we will have challenge. So just enjoy this piece, yeah? Couple more, rounding forward, reaching all the way up, lift, good. I'm always checking in with you just in case. Good, reaching all the way up and lift. Excellent. Let's take our feet out a little wider. So you're standing in what we call a second position in dance, a little external rotation. We're using our hips to open the legs up. We're gonna take our hands to the inside of our knees and our thighs, and we're just gonna slide down, reaching your fingertips. You're in a side bend, but this time it's a little different because we're in a different position of the body, and we're gonna go to the other side. So if you keep your legs pressed back, thinking of the outer thigh pressing behind you, then you might start to notice that you're getting a little inner thigh stretch as we go into this moment, yeah? Good. Reaching it over, reaching it up, again, pressing your arm back so you can keep your chest open. Let's go 1 more each side. Good. All right. Coming back into center, send your arms out to a T position. Feel that your shoulders are over your hips, over the center of the ball. We're not leaning too far forward or too far back. We're going to try to stabilize here by feeling a sense of connection through our center as we draw little circles, and that's going to create a little movement if you're on a ball. So I just want you to work with it. Stay grounded through your feet, long through your spine. Think of the front of your rib cage just gently tugging towards the back of your rib cage. Sometimes that can help you with the cylinder of your core. And yeah, it looks silly, but I think you can feel what's happening, right? Be sure to keep the arms driving the movement. Good. We're gonna change directions in 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa. Good. I'm gonna start to build a little heat here. Keep that breath going. Keep your neck long. That's it. Just enjoy it. Feeling your palms facing down. Whoa. Trying to stay in some level of coordination. It's okay to smile and it's okay to have fun here. Yes. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower everything down. But can you keep a gentle bounce going? That's it. Good. We're gonna think about and actually do lifting one heel, lowering it down, lifting the other heel, lowering it down. If you can keep a bounce going as you lift and lower, excellent. If it's not happening in just this way, that's okay too. So we lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Good. Let's just go 4 more. You're deepening that crease of your hip. 2 and 1. Good. Stay here. Calm the bounce down. Bring your hands behind your head here. We're right in the center. We're gonna hug our elbows around our ears, around your head. We're gonna just take a rounded upper body. Feel the stretch in the back of the neck, feel the stretch in the upper back. You can round forward as low as you're able to maintain your balance. And then press into your feet, start rolling up one bone at a time as you come back up to center. Open your elbows back up to the side. Turn your body over to your right leg. Come back to center. Turn over to your left side. Come back to center. And then let's do that again. Elbows come in and we round forward. And then we roll up. Open the elbows, twist to the right. Come back to center. Twist to the left. Good. Elbows come in, we round down. Let the upper back open, the shoulder blades separate. We roll up. Standing as tall as you can. Open those elbows. Rotate to the right. Come back to center. Rotate to the left. We're going to do this one more time. Here we go. Elbows rounded. Roll it up. Nice and tall. Open the arms. Rotate over. Come back to center, take your eyes with you, rotate, and all the way back to center. Good. Take your arms all the way down. Let's heel toe your feet back to center. We're gonna do one more little bouncy song, and then we'll get down onto the mat. So as we're here, maybe you're sitting on your rebounder. If you're on your chair, just lift your heels up and down, okay? You don't have to bounce on your chair and make it all wobbly. But if you've got a bouncy surface, let's go for it. So you're pushing down, down, down. Hands on the ball for support if you need it. They can also be floating out to your sides. Just gonna lift our heart rate up a little bit. Let's think about the front body connecting to the back body as we lift our right arm up and press it down. Other side. Your goal is to stay right in the center. Your whole body is gonna wanna shift side to side. I want you to stay connected to your midline. Both feet pressing down equally, both hips pressing down equally. You might have a little shift, but try to make it invisible, unseen. Good. Reach up and lower it down and reach up. Good. Keep the bounce going. Turn your palms to face front. We're gonna go shoulders overhead, shoulders down. Low coordination. Don't think about it, just do it. If you need to take the bounce out of it, just do the arms. If you're trying to lift your heels and lower, if you're in a chair, I mean, way to go. Way to go. Taking the challenge on today, yes? Good. That's it. And yeah, you know it's gonna get a little harder in a second, so just bear with us. Do what you like. We've got one more like this. All right. Your next challenge, should you choose to accept it. Right arm goes up. We switch. We switch. You get me? Good. In and reach. In and reach. In and reach. You always know the coordination makes me giggle. So, and again, we are not qualifying for the Olympics in stability ball bouncing today. We are not measuring our self-worth by our ability to keep a beat. We are just having fun. You're a toddler on the playground, following a very specific pattern. Just go for it. Here we go, 8 more. 8, and reach, and 7, and reach, and 6, and reach, 5, yes, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and good. Bring it all the way down, nice work. You can either bounce your way up to standing, whoa, or you can just come to standing. All right, so we're here, and our ball is gonna be in front of us. So for those of you who are avoiding spinal flexion, I usually say this at the beginning of the class, I'm sorry if I didn't because of audio stuff, you can always do a hip hinge and work on the idea of supporting yourself from front to back in a plank. For those of us rounding our back, we're gonna use the ball as a little resistance tool. So we're taking our hands to the ball. It's about a foot, 2 feet, 1.5 feet in front of our legs. And for starters, let's start with a flat back. If that means bend your knees to get there, go for it. From here, we're gonna curl our tail under, tuck your tail between your legs, look deep into your center, and then feel those front ribs pull up to the back ribs, find that middle back stretch. Now we're gonna take a deep breath in here, and then as you exhale, I want you to push down into the ball without flattening your back. If you are working a flat back, you're working your flat back. If you're working a round back, you're gonna try to keep it, okay? So we're here in our round back. Take a deep breath in, exhale, press. It's like a crunch as you press into that ball. Inhale, release. Exhale, press. Inhale, release. Exhale, press. If you ever have any questions about these exercises, you're more than welcome to ask them in the chat or in a message. There's a community tab. You can always message me there. Breathe. Or most of you have my email too. Hopefully we'll get to a place where I'm able to produce a few more tutorials, but for now, just keep breathing. For now, just keep breathing. Good, last 2. Good. And last one, press it down. Now, hold it there for a moment. We're gonna keep that connection, the front belly to the back, and we're gonna start to flatten our back out. So lift your tail and be here. And if it feels good, you can start to lift your chest a little bit, get a little back bend, and then we're gonna reverse it. So we curl the body, round the ball into us, press down into the ball, and find a flat back and lift. It's a little ripple, like a cat-cow. Round the body, curl it in, round the body, find a little back bend. We do it a couple more times. Rounding, curling, reaching, and lifting. Last one, rounding, curl, reaching, and lifting. And then let's stand all the way up from here if we can. Excellent. All right, let's take the ball to the other end. We're gonna be careful as we walk out into a space where we can do a little abdominal work. So let's take it out. Find your, I got a little more space here. Find your middle to low back on the ball, right here. All right, so we're gonna take our hands, as you exhale, press your back against the ball. Inhale, release. And then we want to feel back to ball to mat. So you're really trying to use your body weight, pushing down. There's definitely some legs happening here too. So I'm thinking less about lifting my upper body up and more about pushing my back, okay? Breathe. This doesn't look like much, but it should feel like a lot inside. Breathe out. Good, reach. And press, reach, pull back. Let's go for 2. On the last one, we're gonna hold it up there. Good, now keep your connection through your back. We're just little pulses, little pulses. Push those hands forward, pushing back to lift up, pushing back to lift up. Good, push, 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 yes. All right, Keep it going. We're gonna start to pulse over to the right thigh. Keep both feet pressing down. Teeny little pulses, use your breath, reach, come back to center. Remember, pushing back is a little less labor intensive than lifting up. Push over to the left side, reach. Good. And press, 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 come back to center and reach. Excellent. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, take your hands back behind your head. Send your knees forward. You can inchworm your feet, and we're gonna come so that the upper back is on the ball, your chest is on the ceiling, and we're gonna try to sit the hips down towards the ground. So you might turn out your legs a little bit. We're gonna do a little bridge here. So press through your feet, lift your hips to the sky, your head stays on the ball. Lower your hips down and try to make your back bend here. So the more heavy you can keep your upper back on the ball, the more extension you'll get through your spine, which is a really good thing. We always say the extension is kind of like the fountain of posture. So if you want to stay upright a little bit longer, doing the back bends really helps strengthen the back side of the body. Good. We're lifting, pressing it up and lowering it down. Lifting it up, reaching all the way down. Let's go 2 more times. Lift and lower, and you know we're gonna add on at the end, so lift the last one up. Stay strong in your legs. We're gonna lower the right hip down maybe 2 or 3 inches, and then push it back up to center your hips. Then lower the left one down, press it up to the sky, and just alternate. So right hip tilts down, and then you press from your seat, and lower, and lift. So the place that I'm thinking of pressing from is what we call the smile line. It's where your thigh meets your seat. A little happy hip action there, down. Good, lift it up, and lower, and lift. Let's pick up the pace for a few more. Go right hip and press. Left hip, press. Right hip, press. Come on. Left hip. Good. For 4. These are your stair climbing muscles, your get up from your couch muscles, your stand upright muscles. Last one. Good. And then just let your hips drip all the way down. Ooh, come off as gently as you can. Let's bring your feet together. Bring the ball around. I'm gonna bring the ball around and just use it to stretch. You can do whatever you like, just rounding forward. Taking a second here. Ooh. I'm gonna move back a little bit. Sometimes it's nice to just reach through, find that deep fold in the hips again, and let the ball create a nice stretch for you. Good. Let's go ahead and roll up. Now, the idea is that we do this with straight legs in front of us, but if you need to bend your knees a little bit to make it happen, I understand. The overall focus would be to keep you sitting upright for as long as possible. So you're upright here, your knees are bent or straight, and your feet are flexed. Pull your toes back to you. So as we reach the ball out, we're gonna roll it onto the toes, and as you get the ball towards the toes, however you like, just give your toes a little press down, and we're stretching the top of our ankle joint. And for anybody with any level of foot tension or issue, hopefully this feels good. Now, from here, watch my feet. I'm gonna roll my feet back, and now I'm pressing down on the top of my toe joint. And then I'm gonna roll my toes back, and I'm pressing down with the ball on the back of my toes. This can still work if your knees are bent. And then from here, I'm gonna roll it all the way up to reset. Okay? So sit tall, roll the ball out to the top of your feet. As you're there, give it a little press to stretch the top of your ankle. The ball goes into the top of the foot. From here, roll the toes back, press down into the top of the toe joint. Stretch the front of the toe, or the top. Roll the toes back. Press the ball down into the back side of the toe joint. And then roll all the way up. There's a little thought that has to go into it, and your feet might cramp, so just shake them out. Let's do a couple more. So we round forward, pressing down into the top of the foot, getting a stretch along those shins. Then pull your toes back, but press the ball into the top of the toe. Stretching, activating. Flip your toes under, press the ball onto the back of the toe. And then roll all the way up. We'll just do one more. I know, nobody likes the foot stuff. Oh, yes. Yeah, the foot stuff. Let's roll to the top. It's like, you know, it's almost like why, I think we think to ourselves, like, why should I have to, my feet are just feet. Shouldn't they just work for me? Let's flip the toes back. And yeah, I mean, they could, they should, but also sometimes they don't. Good, all the way up. That's a real easy way to get some space, but we don't recognize that the front of our ankle joint sometimes can get really tight along with our shins, especially if you do a lot of walking and a lot of bouncing. So really good. Let's roll out our feet. We're gonna take the ball down. We're gonna roll onto our backs and just make sure I'm not eclipsed by the plants. We're gonna place our feet on top of the ball. Flex your feet so your toes are pointing to the ceiling. And right now we're just activating the back of our legs. So we're gonna push the ball down, 2, 3, release. You can do this on your rebounder or your chair. Just hold it down. And I'm gonna have my hands like this because sometimes it helps to press my upper back into the mat as well. What I'm not doing is arching my back, okay? So keep your pelvis heavy, your rib cage heavy. Press both heels evenly. Release. Press, hold, hold. You can add an exhalation breath there. Push it down. Good, you should feel this in the back of your legs. If you're not feeling it there, try moving the ball in a little or out a little. Press, try feeling your hips a little bit heavier to the ground. Press, 2, 3, release. If you're feeling your calves, that's also part of it. One more. Press down to stay. All right, here's your challenge. Keep your left leg pressed down, extend your right leg up. Any amount, lower it down. Push it down as the other leg comes up. Lower it down. Push it down, extend. So the leg on the ball is always working hard. Push. It's like an active marching. Push. Good. Try to make your transition seamless. That's it. We're gonna pick up the pace a little bit. So we kick it up, press it down, kick it up, squeeze, kick it up. Good, lowering more arms down now. Give me 4 more. Give me 3. Make fists. Bring those arms up above your chest. Both feet pulse down, 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 down. Good, 4, 3, 2, hug them into your chest. Yes. All right, are you ready to break some things? Not your body, just maybe like anything delicate around your house. Just be careful with this one. Do not do it with a chair. Grab a pillow, okay? This is called luck. This is called throw and catch. So it's an inner thigh activity. We're gonna toss it up. We're gonna catch the ball any way possible. You can catch it with bent legs, you can catch it up by your toes. The point is that you catch it. Normally in class, I say we all have to catch it 20 times in a row, and if somebody drops it, we start over. Since I can't see you, let's just say if I drop it, we start over. So you'll have to root for me too, okay? All right, are we ready? Give yourself a practice round. I know. The goal is to throw the ball a little higher than you think you should. It's easier to catch that way. Okay? Whew, whew. Ready? We're going for 20. Mark, get set, go. 1. We start over. Sorry, guys. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, squeeze it. 6, 7, 8, 9. We start over, sorry. I got too confident. See how this goes? All right. 1, nope, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the pressure, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, I'm counting it, 19, 20, that was pure nerves. Woo! Heart rate up, high. How you doing? Oh my gosh. All right, I'm counting it. I'm just saying it's 20. We did 20. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. It's the nerve. I'm too nervous today about all things in life. All right, bring your feet back up onto your ball. Take your arms out to a T. You walk that ball in pretty close so you can hug it between your feet and your sits bones. If you don't have a ball, just bring your legs to tabletop. It'll all be fine. Hugging it in, sending your weight down to the mat. We're taking a twist. We're gonna roll as far as you can without taking your opposite shoulder off the mat. And then send your waist back down to the mat to bring yourself back to center. Bringing it over to the other side and pulling yourself all the way back together. Good, over, reaching. Whoa, don't lose that ball. Really is the amateur hour up in here, but you know what? It's all right. Again, if you came here for perfection, I'm so sorry. It's the wrong place. Here we go to the other side. Yes. Really focusing on keeping that opposite shoulder down will help us get the twist in the center. It doesn't really matter how far you take those legs over. Let's do one more each side. All right, here we are back in our center. We're gonna bring our feet back up onto the ball. Take your arms down to a low V, and we are going to take a bridge. So begin by rolling your hips back, standing into your feet, lifting all the way up to the top or as high as you can, and then roll all the way down. In between our bridge, let's go ahead and extend the legs and bend, and then we go again. Press down through your upper body, strong through your arms. It's gonna wobble, let it wobble. Stretch it out. We're gonna do 3 more of these. Curling it under. Rolling it all the way down. Reaching it out and pulling it in last time. Good, all the way down. And then reaching it all the way out. Excellent. All right, let's see if we can gather the ball into our hands by any means possible. And we're gonna take a couple of roll-ups. Very interesting. This building is a loft building, so I just realized it got water last night with the rain. A side note, okay, here we go. Starting to curl up. We're gonna reach forward. If you need to bend your knees to get there, go for it. Otherwise, keep reaching that ball forward. If you liked that stretch on the top of your toes, you can absolutely take it at the bottom. Woo. And then we'll roll down. We're just gonna do a couple of these. Reach the ball, let it counterbalance your spine. So keep reaching it forward as you pull yourself back away from it. And then once you get down to the ground, see how far back you can reach it overhead without popping yourself off the mat. So strong in the center. We'll do it again. Pressing through your ribs, reaching the ball for your knees, reaching the ball for your toes, taking a moment to get a little stretch there. Good. We roll it back, nice and easy. Peeling our way down, feeling a long spine as we reach overhead. And we'll do one more time. Curling up. Good, reaching it over. Excellent. All right, let's come to our knees. We're gonna take the ball onto our left side. You can have your knees close together. Reach your right arm up, and then just take a little lean. Press your hips to the right as you press down into the ball with your left hand. Breathing. Stretching, and then coming back up, finding center again. Let's go one more time, up and over. And then if you like, you can round your body and reach for the ball if that works for you. You can play around with the position of the hips, play around with where you want to be with this stretch, and then come back up and recover. We'll go to the other side. Whew, up and over. Just finding that opening, finding that lean. Bringing it all the way back up to center. And again. And rounding. One of the things I like about this format is that it gets after most of the pieces and parts without being super duper intense. So you got your movement in without feeling like you can't move for the rest of the day. Let's come back up and sit on the ball. And then we're just gonna do a little hip stretch. So taking your legs out to the side, take your knee in and down, and most of your weight is on the ball, and you're reaching your knee down and maybe tilting your tail under a little bit. And then I like to always elongate that whole side by reaching up. If a side bend feels like it's a good choice for you, you can take the side bend. If not, you can stay right here. Good. And then recover to center. Going over to the other side. Taking that little tilt under, reaching up. Big stretch. Good, coming all the way back to center. And then let's finish with one of my favorite things to do on the ball. Hands on your knees, and we're just gonna do a little hip circle. So often I'll do this at the beginning of the class. You're basically just drawing a circle with your pelvis on the ball. If you're on a chair, just make a circle with your torso. And one of the reasons I like doing this is at the beginning of class, it often tells you where you're tight, but at the end of the class, it kind of helps you feel where things are moving again, where things feel a little bit more cohesive. Let's reverse our circles. Good. All right. Well, good work, everybody. Welcome to those who came for the first class. Welcome, welcome. If you look, I don't know why YouTube does it strangely, but there are classes, live classes listed out until October right now. I did them all. There's a ton of them. And you'll also see the new class for Wednesday mornings coming up in September. So there you go. All right. So let's just take a deep breath together. Finishing with each other. You can stay on your ball. You can come up to standing. Please let me know if you have any questions. And most of you who are watching live already do support my work. Thank you. If you want to support my work, there's a link in the show caption. There's also my website, Jenna-Zaffino.com. Lots of ways to support these classes. And like I said, in the fall, we are adding a new one on Wednesday. So we'll be here 3 times a week. Mondays are going to be welcoming the week through rebounding. Very therapeutic, very health focused. Wednesdays are going to be building support strategies, whether it's strength, flexibility, breath work, all the stuff that you're seeing in these kind of classes. And then Thursdays are going to be a recovery class. So stretching, again, breath work, but mobility formats that will help you really make sure that you're having a well-rounded movement week. And as always, we want to remember to ask ourselves our question, why did the moves matter to our lives today? We do that very specifically to build a habit that will occur to us as something that's exciting to do, that matters, that means more than just burning calories, because that's boring, right? Yes, exactly. Oh, thank you so much, Joy. Yeah, this community fitness has just taken on a whole other, it's all about money, honestly. So that's what it is. And when high ends of money involved, it's like a lot of times we lose the vision, we lose the purpose behind it. So I've been involved in lots of big money-making organizations that I am so grateful to have had the strength to walk away from. And that does make things a little more challenging at times, but it also makes the work worth it. And I know that in order to stay really focused on bringing meaning and having experiences with people that are just have a little more impact to their lives than being a forgotten member of a group class, I know that it's all worth it. So with that said, have a wonderful weekend, rest, recalibrate. I will see you back on Monday. Check the schedule. I just scheduled so many I don't remember which it is, so you'll have to look at it. But keep your comments coming. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. Big love to all of you.